Hi everybody, welcome back to Ash's Glitter Factory. Today I am reading Chapter 14 in the Grimrose Girl series. Chapter 14 is called Nani. It had been 3 weeks, and Nani still had no answers about her father. She tried approaching Miss Blumstein again, but it was fruitless. She'd come to a dead end, and all she wanted was to go home. She didn't like her classes, she didn't like the other students. They were old snobs, looking down on her. She didn't care about making friends, not when she was sure they'd do what people had done to her all her life, turn it off behind her back. Nani knew that attitude too well, and it wasn't going to be different here. So she cut it off at the first opportunity before she got really hurt. It was easier that way. She didn't approach anyone and didn't let anyone approach her. There was only one thing she was interested in, the whereabouts of her father and why he'd sent her to Grimrose. The last time he'd left, it was with the same words as always. Next time, Cupia. He'd always called her that, like he'd called her mother before, because it was one of the few words in Hawaiian he knew, because the stupid Elvis song, and even then he didn't use it correctly. Nani's mother always laughed at the pronunciation, too much of the continent, no matter how hard he tried. It was one of the few things Nani remembered from her mother. He called her mother that, and then after she passed, the word befell on Nani, a painful reminder of what was gone. There was only one way she was getting answers at Grimrose. Nani knew by now that her father couldn't afford to send her here, and that meant he had done something, offered something to someone, and that someone had to be the headmistress. She'd already become familiar with Grimrose's architecture, and when Saturday came, she knew exactly where she needed to go. She climbed the stairs of the administrative tower, finding her way across the teacher's wing, and stopping at the end of the corridor in front of a closed door. She knocked, waiting. "Come in," Raina's voice sounded muffled. Nani opened the door swiftly. The room itself wasn't different from any other part of the castle, but the furniture was. The room was austere, something like that, comfortable. Simple black wood chairs, a dark table. Behind her was a glass window opening the view to the mountains, to the west of the castle, glass and brassy metal and decorations. The only thing that could be considered personal was a picture of Reina and a much younger girl who Nani easily recognized as Yuki. Yuki was beautiful even as a child. Her eyes large with long lashes, her mouth so red it seemed unnatural. The picture had to be taken at least 10 years ago, but Reina didn't look like she'd aged a day. "Miss Ezes, I assume?" Reina asked. Nani blinked, surprised that the headmistress knew who she was. Yes. How did you know?" "You have your father's eyes," Reina said, and Nani faltered. She always felt like she was right in the middle between her father and her mother, belonging to neither. But a complete stranger had still recognized her. "I wasn't expecting you," Reina said, gesturing to the chair in front of her. "Sit, please." Nani wondered if this was some type of power game. Honestly, she didn't care if it was. She just wanted answers. "That's what I'm here to talk about," Nani said, "about my father." Reina's eyebrows raised in surprise. "I'm not sure how I can help you, Miss Ezes. We do have a telephone you can use if you would like to That isn't... Nani stopped herself, calming her nerves. She went back down. "I came here thinking I'd find him. I got a letter, tickets to come here. I thought I was coming to meet him here." Reina blinked in surprise. Her hands clasped together over the table. Her nails were long and sharp, a smooth, glossy red. "I can't offer any more explanations than what your father has already given you," she replied. "You have a place here in one of the best schools in the entire world, and an opportunity not many have." Reina said opportunity, but Nana knew the word she really meant privilege. She'd been handed the privilege of a lifetime, and she was supposed to be grateful. "I'd like to know why," Nani said. "Why am I here?" "You're here because you got a spot in the school. You have an excellent school record, good grades. There's every reason you should be here. You understand?" "No, I don't," Nani said, more vehemently. How was she supposed to understand? "Our family has no money. I could never come to this school. I don't belong here, and I want to know what happened to my father." She finished her sentence without knowing where the outburst was going, without even being sure she had breath enough to finish the sentence. She adjusted her glasses, trying to give her hand something to do. "Then I'm afraid I can't help you," said Reina. "Your father left their service after the school year was done." Nani's heart stilled, her fingers digging into the wooden armrest which offered no comfort. Reina sighed, glancing at the photograph of her and Yuki for a moment. "This is a confidential conversation," Reina told her, finally turning her intense brown eyes back at Nani. "I'm not sure I should be telling you this, but I thought your father would have explained the delicate situation. When he applied to the school to work here, he wasn't interested in making a salary. He was interested in a place for you at the school. He worked for us for a year. We offer scholarships to our employees so their children can attend the school, and we make no distinction between them and those who pay full tuition. Nani let that sink in, but Raina's voice was distant, like it was coming across a roaring ocean that was taking over Nani's heart. Her father was gone? So where is he? Nani finally said, finding her voice again. I don't know, Raina answered. When his contract was up, he left our services. I only knew you'd be arriving. That's all he told me before he left. If Raina didn't know, if no one knew, then her father was gone again, and not only gone, but missing. No one knew where he was, and he wasn't coming back for her. He left her at Grimrose, and she had nowhere else to go. Nani's breakdown was interrupted by a sudden knock at the door. Miss Blunston put her head in the door, peeking into the room. May I come in? Raina primed herself on her seat, sitting straight. You may. Miss Blumston came in, wearing one of her usual red dresses, one that Nani was already getting used to seeing. She offered Nani a smile. I need to talk to you in private, Miss Blumston said. Was it something urgent that Miss Esses wanted? No, Raina said, locking her eyes with the girl. Nani looked between them both for one moment. She saw Raina's tense shoulders, Miss Blumston's amiable demeanor. Come now, Miss Blumston gestured to her. A girl like you shouldn't spend so much time stuffed indoors. There's so many things to explore. Nani looked at the open door and got up. Thanks for the help. She could feel Raina's eyes following her to the door, and Nani heard muttered words behind it, though she couldn't distinguish any of them. But it didn't matter. What else was going on inside the school? Or that Nani had taken the place of a dead girl, or she was stuck inside the castle by a bargain her father had made. That wasn't important anymore. Her father was gone. Okay, everyone, that is the end of chapter 14. I hope you enjoyed this chapter. Bye!